Have you ever wondered why we draw this difficult symbol in music? How do we come up with this idea? And why does it have that strange name? And how can we actually draw it without any effort? In this video, I'll walk you through anything you might want to know or you might need to know when it comes to the treble clef. At the end of this video, you will be able to perfectly draw treble clefs while knowing exactly what a treble clef is, its history, and its function in music. If all of that is too trivial for you and you already know everything when it comes to the history of musical notation, this video is surely not for you. I'm Dr. Antonella Di Giulio. I'm a classical pianist and music theorist, and I am the founder of WebPianoAcademy. WebPianoAcademy is the place where music lovers from all over the world turn for tutorials, insights, interviews, and musical knowledge. But let's step a bit back and let me walk you through the secrets behind the treble clef. Learning how to draw treble clefs always seems so difficult if you're just starting getting familiar with the language of Western music theory and with its notation. You have treble clefs everywhere. And yet, despite most of the time these clefs are already printed in the books, or you might not need to draw them because you might decide to write your music directly with a notation software like MuseScore or Finale, I think it would be fun to feel being motored for at least one day and to imagine being one of these composers of the past. Most music students learn how to read music in this exact same way. They memorize the every good boy deserves good sort of sequence, and then they struggle until they have memorized the position of the notes on the stuff. The problem with this approach is this: students do not really understand why notes are written that way, and by not understanding the reason for that sequence that they are memorizing, they find note reading as a burden. No wonder why many students give up on note reading and turn to things like YouTube tutorials for assistance. And so, first of all, let's cover what a treble clef even is and its function, and then I will show you how to draw it properly in 4 super simple and easy to remember steps. What is a treble clef? Treble clef doesn't mean treble. Like many people, I use other arcane symbols without thinking twice about it. The @ sign, for example, the $sign, and the ampersand all function like ligatures or some sort of shorthand. They are symbols and they stay for a meaning. A clef is a sign placed on a music staff that indicates what pitch is represented by each line and space. The treble clef is a type of musical clef that is also known as the G clef because it indicates the line on which we have to read or write the note G. Why is a treble clef called treble? The term treble derives from the Latin triplum, third, and was used in the 13th century motets to indicate the third and the highest range. A possible addition to this evolution was suggested in very old article which appeared in the Musical Times in 1908. In this article, they argued that the contemporary form of the treble clef is the result of the 17th century notational technique in which multiple symbols were used to indicate both pitch and vocal sound, with G, Sol being a common combination that was eventually shortened to GS, and then gradually corrupted by careless transcriptions into the treble clef. And in fact, in the past, the treble clef was simply a G placed on any line where a G was going to be placed. For example, I could place the G on the fourth line of a staff, on a third line, and so on. These lines at the beginning were also color-coded to make it easy for the musicians or singers in particular to recognize the notes and to read, play, or sing these notes. A variation of the treble clef is a French violin clef, which is placed on the first line on the staff. And so, as we can see here, the treble clef has gone through a lot of different variations over the centuries to become what it is now. So, why do you need to draw it properly? As we covered earlier in this video, the treble clef is a type of G clef. That means that it shows us where the note G is on the stave, and without it, we would not be able to read the notes correctly. A clef gives you the rules according to which you will decode the sounds. This is why it is important to draw the treble clef properly, as if you have it in the wrong place, you'll be indicating that G is somewhere else on the stave. Also, WebPianoAcademy has partnered with Tonebase. In the description below, you will find a code for a 30% off on any Tonebase subscription. Tonebase has created a community of like-minded people who love classical music and are serious about learning music from the best. There is not just one way to draw a treble clef, but the way I prefer to teach drawing this clef is divided into 4 simple steps, and each step is connected to an imaginary figure. Now start with a dot on the second line of the stave. Then draw a snake, a curved line clockwise. The next image we will draw is a snake. One of those snakes you can see in cartoons coming out from a hat when they hear a certain sound. Then imagine an inverted walking stick to the bottom, and you're done. The best way to learn how to draw treble clefs is by practicing. If you like this video, make sure to give me a thumb up and to subscribe to WebPianoAcademy. Also, there is a worksheet in the description below. Feel free to grab it. Now, I want to turn it over to you. Why is a treble clef called treble? Let me know by leaving a comment below right now. Keep making music and have fun in life. That's all we are supposed to do.